Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got some more Black Ops 3 gameplay for you, and I wanted to talk about some competitive considerations for this game and the fact that it's a PlayStation 4 exclusive, because those two go hand in hand. You may notice in this video that some of the gameplay I'm using is T. Martin's. Our capture window was very limited, so we agreed to share some of our better gameplay. You may see him post some of mine later this week, and if you want to see his channel, it's linked down there in the description. But as for competitive, there are definitely some good things and some bad things that I wanted to talk about. Do keep in mind that I am not a pro gamer. I'm not a competitive gamer. I'm a casual public match kind of guy, but I do work with Envy. I own part of the team. I watch the matches. I do have some perspective on what they might consider important, but do take all of this with a grain of salt. First thing, we'll do a good one first, is that the core gameplay is solid. And I mean that very seriously. The gunfights feel real, they feel good, there's a lot of gun variety, the trade-offs feel real. Now that there's no toughness, now that there's no lightweight and a blast suppressor isn't necessary, there's a lot more variety and creativeness with perks, a lot more real trade-offs, so that feels really good and really tactical. Movements aren't annoying, they aren't spammy, you don't go too high, it doesn't break up the gameplay. As Vaughn says, it's very guns up sort of thing, so you always kind of get your guns up and you're always fighting and going, it doesn't stop or get choppy. And you can't climb too high, like you don't get super high like in AW, and I thought you might find it interesting that there's fall damage. There are a couple of places, and I think 2 of the maps you can climb up a little bit higher than the others, and if you jump down, your legs will crack and you'll take some fall damage. It won't kill you, but if you get shot on the way down or hit by a grenade, you will fall and die. It happened to me once. The skill gap is definitely there. There is a very clear and definite skill gap between good and bad players in this game with the movement, especially what they did with some of the sniper rifles and some of the auto-aim features. It's not going to be, I think, kind of like a Ghost type deal, where the first person that shoots wins, but there is a time to kill problem. I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but I do want to say I think that there's a real skill cap, and we have good objective indicators. They were really bad when I played back in the pre-alpha. It's something I complained about a lot, and thank you, Treyarch, for listening. The objective indicators are way better. They're easier. They're clearer to see. It lets you know when they're capping, taking flags, who's on the hard point, stuff like that. So that's a good thing. We got all those kind of OBJ modes back. There is a time to kill problem. It was a little bit fast this time around. So the last time I played Black Ops 3, it felt a lot like Black Ops 2. For whatever reason, the time to kill just felt faster. And I don't have hard numbers behind this. I can't analyze it. I don't know the exact time to kill of the guns. But everybody that I agreed with felt that it was faster. I'm not going to say it was bad as Ghost, but it's definitely not Black Ops 2 level yet. It got upped somehow. Something got better hit detection, stronger guns. Something happened and the time to kill got a little bit fast. That worries me for competitive because, as I mentioned, one of the problems with Ghost is it was just pre-aimed guns around corners, and whenever you get hit first, you're dead. You have no time to react. There was a little bit of that. It's not as easy to turn on people in this game as it is in Black Ops 2, so I wouldn't expect to see a whole lot of that happening. You're going to have to position a lot better. Another bad thing is that some of the specialists are a tad strong. Looking at it, like the first time I played it, I thought the specialists would mostly be okay for competitive. Maybe a few of them were a little bit strong, but they added some new ones, they added some new weapons, some new abilities, and some of those I'm not huge fans of. I'm pretty sure, and I know this is very early, some of them are going to be banned. I wish that wasn't the case, because the less things you ban in competitive and the more it resembles the base game, the better it is, like Counter-Strike or League of Legends or something like that. The closer it is for the casual player to get into the competitive, the better for the whole scene. But some of these things are a little strong. Some are a little ridiculous, so some of them are going to have to be banned. A minor complaint, there's also a few animation mismatches. This is another type of thing we had with Ghost. They're really loose on hitting Y and B and changing guns and sprint canceling and reloading and YYing and all that sort of stuff. All that sort of old stuff from past Call of Duty games that you guys love to do with the guns, like hit YY really fast and cancel the reload and stuff. That's back. It's very easy to swap guns, especially with fast hands, and do all of your movements and animations on the wall. The downside is you're doing it so fast that sometimes the animations can't keep up and it looks weird. This is more of just from a spectating perspective. Like if an audience watched it, they might not understand why people are juggling guns and why their hands are moving so fast. It feels good. I mean, I'm an experienced COD player. I know what I'm doing. It feels great, and I'm happy that I'm allowed to do these things, but the animations they get a little choppy when I go too hard on it. Moving on, it is definitely PlayStation 4 exclusive. That was a big deal. I see the hashtag Xbox or Riot all over the place, and so far, there's been no announcement from MLG. Now, I'm recording this in my hotel room because I had to go to Asia, so by the time you watch it, it might be a day or two old. But as of now, I've heard no official announcement from MLG as to whether or not they're going to be moving to PlayStation 4, because if I'm not mistaken, they were also partnering with Xbox, which means that they're going to have to buy new PlayStations. All the pros are going to have to get new PlayStations. They're going to have to get PlayStation Scuffs. They're going to have to get PlayStation Astros. They're going to have to move all that stuff over, and it is a big hassle. They have to learn a new system, new controller, all sorts of kind of different things, redo their privacy settings, blah, blah, blah. But we don't know yet. So that is a hassle. It's kind of a bad thing in that way. But there are some good things about being on PlayStation 4. Number one is that it is super easy to LAN on PlayStation 4. Unlike the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4 is built just from the ground up to allow for LAN. LAN. Even at the event, I just saw them setting it up. All they did was just select what they wanted to play. It's like they wanted to play online, split screen, or LAN. You just hit LAN, and it's like, all right, host LAN lobby or join LAN lobby, and they hit host LAN lobby, and then we would all just hit join LAN lobby. You can create multiple accounts, change your name, do a lot of things really easily, whereas on Xbox One, you can't do that. You still have to have your gamer card, and it has to connect to the internet, and you're kind of playing on like a simulated LAN. They play on like a special build of the game that picks it's so weird how they do that. Like, they have to have these gamer cards. It's really annoying. I think it's completely unnecessary for the Xbox One. It's way, way, way simpler on PlayStation 4. You'll have true 1080p this time around, no 900p, so it'll make it clearer, easier to watch, easier to spectate. Might make it better for some people to aim as well. And there's one more bad thing, and I kind of agree with this one. It does kind of go against an established audience. It's been Xbox for a really long time. Some people have Xboxes just for COD. I don't think that's the majority of people, though. I think that's one of the reasons the deal changed, is that most people didn't buy Xboxes just for Call of Duty, but of course some of them did. So you go against your established audience. Some of the hardcore fans might have to change. Some of the competitive fans might have to change. And the idea here is that destructive or creative? Of course you are destroying part of the community. Some of the people will refuse to change. Some of the people don't have the money. They're not going to like it. But on the flip side, you're also tapping a completely untapped community. Like PlayStation 4 guys, the Sony competitive people have been wanting to get in for a long time. It's a huge market that hasn't got any love. So it's this kind of toss-up. Are we going to bring in a whole buttload of new people, and is this going to be really good? Or are we going to push away more people than we bring in, and you're just going to have to kind of figure that one out? But I thought you would find this video interesting, educational, hopefully useful, and if you did learn something useful, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.